So during their 8-7 win over the Los Angeles Dodgers on Friday night, the Giants only had to contend with Shohei Ohtani, the hitter, and up to this point in the Giants-Dodgers rivalry, the Giants have only had to deal with Ohtani, the hitter, and Ohtani, the hitter, is obviously incredibly difficult to deal with. We saw yesterday what he did with the Logan Webb cutter. He sent it into McCovey Cove for the first splash hit of his career. He's on pace to win his 4th MVP in the last 5 years, largely due in part to what he's done in the batter's box. He won his 3rd MVP last year exclusively for what he did in the batter's box because he wasn't pitching. But today was the first opportunity, at least since Ohtani signed with the Dodgers ahead of last season, that the Giants have had to contend with Ohtani the hitter and Ohtani the pitcher in the same game. As far as Ohtani the hitter today, he went 0-for-4. He struck out twice. It was a very ho-hum game for, again, someone who's on pace to win his 4th MVP in the last 5 years. As far as Ohtani the pitcher, though, today pretty much lived up to the billing of what he's shown he's capable of doing when healthy over the course of his major league career as the Giants fall to the Dodgers 2-1 here on Saturday afternoon at Oracle Park. In his first opportunity to pitch in this rivalry, Ohtani goes 3 scoreless innings. He has 1 walk, 1 hit, and 4 strikeouts. I think in the first inning specifically, he struck out the side all swinging. He maxed out at 99.9 mile per hour with his 4-seam fastball. Didn't quite technically crack 100, but this is pretty much the encapsulation of what Ohtani has been, again, when he's healthy, when he has that fastball working, when he has that sweeper working. And when we were talking to Elliot Ramos after the game about whether he'd want to contend with Ohtani the hitter versus Ohtani the pitcher, he said he would much rather deal with the pitcher because the pitcher is only going every 5 or so days, whereas with the hitter, again, you have to deal with him pretty much every day. And as evidenced by the final score of today's game, and given that Ohtani only pitched the 3 innings, it wasn't just Ohtani who was keeping the Giants in check today. It was Emmett Sheehan who, following Ohtani's 3 innings, kind of pitched in that bulk relief role through 4 1/3 innings, allowed the 1 run, and then Alex Vesia and Tanner Scott shut the door from there. And the Giants' best opportunity of the day was in the bottom of the 8th inning. There was a significant gap between hits. In the bottom of the 3rd inning, with 2 outs, Mike Yastrzemski singled off Ohtani. It was the only hit Ohtani would allow. And the Giants didn't have their second hit of the afternoon until Patrick Bailey hit a very long double that kind of bounced off the right field wall against Sheehan. And following Bailey's long single, Mike Yastrzemski drew a walk. Elliot Ramos lined a single up the middle. The Giants now have the bases loaded with 1 out, trailing by 2, and that forces Dodgers manager Dave Roberts to go to his bullpen. He goes to Vesia to face Rafael Devers, and it kind of lined up when you were thinking about it that this maybe could be Devers' first true capital M moment as a San Francisco Giant, again he himself playing in this Giants-Dodgers rivalry for the first time. He's very familiar with rivalries going back to Yankees-Red Sox. And Devers is able to play to run. He drives a ball to deep right center field, scores a run via sacrifice fly. That brings Matt Chapman to the plate with runners at the corners and 2 outs. Chapman hits into a force out. Giants end up just scoring the 1 run, trim that deficit to 2-1, and that would end up being the only run of the afternoon that they would score. But not to be lost in Ohtani and Sheehan, as well as the Dodgers relievers shutting down the Giants' offense. Landen Roupp also turned in an excellent start today. He goes 6 innings. He allows 2 runs. I believe it's the 1 walk to 8 strikeouts. And this marks a very clear 180 from what happened in his last outing against the Los Angeles Dodgers. That happened, of course, at Dodger Stadium. He recorded 5 outs, went an inning and 2/3, and allowed 6 earned runs. Today, obviously, being the kind of complete opposite of what happened at Dodger Stadium. And when we asked what was kind of the difference between that start at Dodger Stadium versus today in San Francisco, he said the big difference was that he felt like he had command, or he had a feel for all of his stuff, whereas at the start that he had at Dodger Stadium, he just really didn't have any feel for anything at all. So a great way for Roupp to end what has been a very impressive first half for him. I think he ends the first half with a 3.27 ERA over 96 something innings, and really since May especially has really taken off. Since the start of Dodger Stadium in particular, I believe he has a sub-2 ERA, and he's really established himself as the number 3 in the starting rotation behind Logan Webb and Robbie Ray. I do think as we get deeper into the season, it is going to be in the best interest of both Roupp long-term as well as the Giants to monitor his innings. This is kind of leading leading up to him throwing the most innings that he's ever thrown in a professional year, but that's kind of a problem for another day at this point. It's going to be, 7, 8 days between this start and his next start, which would probably be against the Toronto Blue Jays once the second half begins, but that's another problem for another day. All in all, an excellent start for Landen Roupp as he makes his final start of the first half.